SuperSystem began in 2001. It grew out of my creation of the line of 28mm superhero miniatures that I called Superfigs. And my partnership with Old Glory allowed me to get that line produced and make dozens and dozens of 28mm superhero miniatures. We decided that with the miniatures we needed a rule set to go with them. And at the time I was playing a lot of White Wolf games like Vampire and Werewolf, and I was very interested in dice pool systems, dice pool resolution systems. And I'd also encountered a game called Trinity Battleground, which was White Wolf's own 28mm science fiction skirmish game. So those were some pretty strong influences on me, along with the classic Champions role-playing game. So taking those things and sort of mashing them together, I came up with the mechanics for my SuperSystem game, which I wanted to use simple six-sided dice, and I liked rolling lots of dice. So SuperSystem was developed with a larger system in mind called Goal System. And the idea was you would roll a handful of six-sided dice, and you wouldn't have to add anything up except you would just count all of the dice that were 4 or higher. And initially, sixes would count for multiple goals depending on the level of super that your character had, if he had a super attribute that was involved in that throw. Later on, as the system progressed, we simplified it so that whenever you threw a 6, it counted as 2 goals. So when you throw your pool of 5 or 6 or even 10 dice or more, you're really just looking for dice that score 4 or better. And we took that concept and ran with it, and I took all of my experience with superhero role-playing and superhero miniatures and playing a whole bunch of other miniature games, a lot of skirmish miniature games, including Necromunda and Mordheim and games of that nature that were skirmish and campaign-related in nature. And I developed SuperSystem so that you could tell stories with superhero miniatures on the tabletop. And so that's how the first SuperSystem book developed. I partnered with my friend Chris Muller, who painted a gorgeous cover for me. We did a softcover book. It was quickly followed the next year with SuperSystem Invasion, which was more rules, more miniatures. We added additional powers, vehicle rules, things like that. Then we sort of tweaked a lot of the powers, and we did a third book called SuperSystem Showdown, and that book further refined the system. And it sort of developed on from there, and we also did a number of other offshoot games like the Chaos series of games, Chaos in Cairo, Chaos in Carpathia. All of these games really informed my game design and they allowed my system to mature with repeated play, lots of play groups sending me feedback, things of that nature. I partnered with David Lewis, who's a fan of SuperSystem and a really bright guy, an incredible writer. He understands the SuperSystem really almost better than I do, and he really knows the super genre as well. So starting with second and on into third edition and this current edition, I've been working with David Lewis to further refine the rules. And so now here we are in 2014, and I decided I wanted to fund a proper print run of SuperSystem because third edition really didn't exist as a print book except for a very small print run. And when we started looking at SuperSystem third edition and what we could do to get it ready to print, we just decided it had been 4 years and it was time to do SuperSystem fourth edition. And we decided to go big and make some significant and substantive changes in the rules to address some niggling issues that have been with the system from the beginning. And so we're really excited about these changes. They are a big leap forward. They will be a bit of an adjustment for long-time fans of the game, but I think it really takes the game in a brighter and better direction.